Hello students, welcome back. So let us continue with the story Ishwaran the storyteller. We have already read what about the introduction of Ishwaran. Ishwaran is the cook in Mahendra's home, in Mahendra's life. Ishwaran is the cook, but apart from being a cook, he was more popular as being a storyteller. He used to tell stories in a very interesting way. So now we are going to listen to some of the facts what Ishwaran did to amuse his master Mahendra. We are starting from page number 14. And while I'm reading out the story, you will be able to hear some background noises which are very irritating, but I really can't help it because some kind of construction is going on behind my house. So let's just ignore the sound and you try to just listen to what I'm telling. Okay. The place I come from is famous for timber. Ishwaran would begin. There is a richly wooded forest all around. The logs are hauled on to the lorries by elephants. They are huge, well-fed beasts. When they turn wild, even the most experienced mouth is not able to control them. After this prologue, Ishwaran would launch into an elaborate anecdote involving an elephant. So Ishwaran one day he was talking about elephants. So he was telling something about his native place. He said that the place where I came from means my native place. That place is famous for timber. What is timber? Timber means wood. Okay, for wood. It was famous for wood. There is a richly wooded forest around. Means very good expensive wood were available in the forest all around. And the logs were hauled onto the lorries by elephants who were helping to lift those huge wooden logs. The elephants, the huge size elephants, they used to take the log, they used to carry the log and lift it to the lorry. They are huge, well-fed beasts. So they were like, the elephants were like a huge beast, very big size elephants they were. And when this kind of elephants turn wild, even the most experienced mouth is not able to control them. These beasts are very big, these beasts are very powerful, they are very helpful for this kind of log lifting activities. But if anytime such a beast get wild, it turns mad, then even the most experienced mouth, who is a mouth is the elephant trainer, one who controls the elephant. Okay, by different techniques, one who controls the elephant is called a mouth. Okay, so if any elephant ever turn wild or ever get mad, then even the experienced mouth is unable to control that beast. So with this introduction, Mahendra started narrating one story. He suddenly remembered, or maybe he created a story out of his own mind, and he narrated one incident from his childhood. An incident which involved the elephant, that's such a huge elephant getting mad. One day, a tusker escaped from the timber yard and began to roam about, stamping on bushes, tearing up the wild creepers, and breaking branches at will. You know, sir, how an elephant behaves when it goes mad? Ishwaran would get so caught up in the excitement of his own story that he would get up from the floor and jump about, stamping his feet in emulation of the mad elephant. So now he said that one day such a tusker means the big elephant with long tusk, long teeth. Okay, so such one elephant escaped from the group of other elephant. One elephant escaped and began to roam about, stamping on bushes, tearing up wild creepers, and breaking branches at will. He was going around like mad, destroying things around. Okay, crushing the bush, crushing the trees, crushing the fences. No, just breaking the branches of the trees and just going on like a storm. Ishwaran would get so caught up in the excitement of his own story. He only himself, while telling the story, Ishwaran himself would get so much excited that he will just jump out from his present position and he will try to imitate the action of an elephant, how the elephant is moving, like hitting his foot on the floor just like an elephant in order to just imitate the action of an elephant. He will just get into the story. While telling the story, he will also get inside the story. He will get too much excited, and he will try to animate the action in his gestures. The elephant reached the outskirts of our town, breaking the fences down like matchstick. He would continue. It came into the main road and smashed all the stalls selling fruits, mud pots, and clothes. So now the elephant, it had reached the town. After reaching the town, it has been crushing the fences as if the fences are very weak like matchstick. It's crushing the fences just like nothing. And then he would enter the main road, and in the main road, beside the road, there will be many shops, many fruit seller shop, many pot maker shop. So he will be crushing their shops. He will crushing the fruits, the pots, the clothes, whatever the clothes hanging for sale, everything will be crushed and teared up. He will be just destroying things. People ran helter and shelter in panic. So people started running here and there with panic that a mad elephant has come in the town, destroying and spoiling everything, and they will be like roaming here and there in panic for their own lives, to save their life. The elephant now entered a school ground where children were playing. Breaking through the brick wall, all the boys ran into the classroom and shut the doors tight. So now the elephant kept on moving, and while it was moving, it finally reached the school campus. Okay, and where the children were playing, and the elephant just broke the wall and got inside the school campus. All the boys were terrified. They ran into their classrooms and shut the doors tight. One elephant has come in, like all the children of the school, they will ran inside. They just ran inside the school building, shutting their doors. They were terrified. One elephant has come. Everyone was so scared. The beast grunted and wandered about, pulling out the football goalpost, tearing down the volleyball net, kicking and flattening the drum kept for water, and uprooting the shrubs. And the elephant is continuing the destruction. It is just uprooting the goalpost. Okay, pulling out the goalpost. In the playground, there will be the football goalpost. He will be just taking it out, taking it down. And the water drums where water was stored, so that water drum, he will just crush the water drum, making it flat. Uprooting the shrubs, whatever plants, whatever flowering plants were there, kept like a garden, he will just pull out everything, he will destroy everything. Meanwhile, all the teachers had climbed up to the terrace of the school building, from where they helplessly watched the depredation of the elephant. And the teachers, the teachers were also terrified. They also went up to the school building. They were in the top stories of the building, and from there they were helplessly watching how the elephant is causing the destruction. There was not a soul below on the ground. The streets were empty, as if the inhabitants of the entire town had suddenly disappeared. So the entire place, the entire area was suddenly completely empty. Okay, as if suddenly all the people had disappeared somewhere. Okay. I was studying in the junior class at the time and was watching the whole drama from the rooftop. I don't know what came over me suddenly. I grabbed a cane from the hands of one of the teachers and ran down the stairs and into the open. The elephant grunted and menacingly swung a branch of tree which it held in its trunk. It stamped its feet, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. It looked frightening, but I moved slowly towards it. Stick in hand, people were watching the scene hypnotized from nearby housetops. The people were watching the scene hypnotized from nearby housetop. People were watching the scene hypnotized from the nearby housetop. The elephant looked at me, red-eyed, ready to rush towards me. It lifted its trunk and trumpeted loudly. At that moment, I moved forward and mastered all my force, whacked its third toenail on the quick. The beast looked stern for a moment. Then it shivered from head to foot and collapsed. So now he is telling that everyone was terrified. Everyone had vacated that place. People were staring from the rooftop. Everyone was checking the elephant with fear, with terror. And at that time, Ishwaran is telling, I was a boy. I was a boy in the junior class at that time. So it was a story about his childhood. So he was present in that school at that time when this elephant came. So he had witnessed the entire thing. And not only he had witnessed the thing, he had been acting like a hero there. He had acted like a hero on that episode of his childhood. Okay, so he is telling, while I was watching the entire drama from the rooftop along with all my friends and teachers, suddenly he got some kind of courage inside him. Okay, he got some kind of idea and he took the crane from one of his teacher's hand. Crane means a kind of stick, a stick with which the master actually punishes or beats the students, and also the stick is used for pointing the board. Okay, so crane. So grabbing the crane from one of the teacher's hand, he ran down the stairs into the open. He went out to face the elephant, holding a crane in his hand. The elephant grunted menacingly, swung a branch of the tree which it held in its trunk, and the elephant was actually showing his destruction, showing his action, showing his violence. Okay, holding a branch of a tree and swinging it this side and that side. Okay, it was a very dangerous situation. It's a very critical moment. Any kind of accident would have happened, but but Ishwaran, who is narrating the story, he was not terrified. Even when he was a young boy, he was having so much courage at that time. Suddenly he was standing, okay, he was standing ready to face the elephant, ready to face the terror of the elephant. And the elephant was kicking mud, dust all over. It was looking very frightening the way the elephant was behaving. But he was not scared. He just moved towards it, and the stick was in his hand. People were watching the scene, hypnotized from the nearby housetop, and people are wondering, oh my god, look, a small kid is going towards the elephant holding just a stick. They were completely like awestruck with that episode to see the scene. Okay, they were not able to move, as if they were hypnotized. They were unable to do any kind of reaction. They was looking at them. The elephant looked at me red-eyed, ready to rush towards me. The elephant also saw me, and the elephant's eyes were red because it was mad. So it started rushing towards me. It lifted its trunk and trumpeted loudly, and the elephant made a huge, terrifying sound with his trunk. At that moment, I moved forward and mastered all my force, whacked its third toenail on the quick. Suddenly, using the entire force of his body, the small Ishwaran, the child Ishwaran, he just took the crane and just hit the elephant's third toenail, means third finger of his foot. Okay, the third finger of his foot, he just whacked it hard with that crane, with all the energy, with all the strength he had in his body. Using the entire strength, he just whacked the crane on his third toenail. And suddenly, what happened? The beast looked stern for a moment. The beast was surprised. The beast was shocked for some moments with that action. And then it shivered from head to foot and collapsed. Suddenly, there was a shivering. There was a kind of vibration all over the beast body, all over the elephant's body. And then the elephant fell down and it fainted. At this point, Ishwaran would leave the story unfinished and get up mumbling, I will be back after lighting the gas and warming up the dinner. Mahendra, who had been listening up with rapt attention, would be left hanging. When he returned, Ishwaran would not pick up the thread of the story right away. Mahendra would have to remind him that the conclusion was pending. Well, a veterinary doctor was summoned to revive the animal. Ishwaran would shrug casually. 2 days later, it was laid away by its mouth to the jungle. So now what Ishwaran will do? Ishwaran will rise the action. Okay, he has already taken the action of the story to a very high point. Okay, he has, as a child, he has whacked the elephant on the third toenail, and the elephant just fell flat, collapsed on the ground. After that, without finishing the story, Ishwaran will do what? Ishwaran will just say that, okay, I forgot, I need to turn on the gas, I need to get the things ready for the dinner tonight, I'm going. After coming back, I will continue the story. So, in the rising action, in the moment where the climax has just happened, Ishwaran instead of completing the story, Ishwaran will keep Mahendra in a hanging state, in a suspense hanging state. What happened after that? What happened after that? That kind of curiosity level, he will hang Mahendra there, and he will go to do his household work. And Mahendra will be waiting Ishwaran to come back quickly, complete your work, come back and continue the story, finish the story. But Ishwaran, after completing his household work, once he will come back, he won't start with that story. He will just, as if he has forgotten, oh, I was telling a story, something like that, with an attitude like that. Then Mahendra had to remind him, hello, you were telling me a story. You have told the story you have told the story's climax, and then what happened? You haven't completed. I'm waiting for it. Tell me. And at that time, at that time, Ishwaran would very casually say, oh, then what happened? Then one veterinary doctor was called. The veterinary doctor came and checked the elephant. Took care of the elephant, and then the mouth of the elephant came and took it away to the jungle. Nothing else happened. Okay, so Ishwaran was very typical in this way. He would create the interest. He would create the interest of his listener, and once the interest goes high to a point, suddenly Ishwaran will make a full stop there, and Ishwaran will escape. Okay, and it will be a kind of irritating moment for the listener, that what happened after that? Nothing happened. Okay, fine, it's done like that. So Ishwaran was like that. Well, how did you manage to do it, Ishwaran? How did you bring down the beast? But Mahendra's question was that you were a child, Ishwaran. You were not a full grown up man that you were able to handle the beast like that. I wanted to know the answer, that how you did that thing, how you managed to take down that big elephant as a child all by yourself. How were you able to do that? You answered to that question, to that curiosity. I'm in that level of my mind. I just don't give me a casual conclusion that this happened. Then Ishwaran would say, it had something to do with a Japanese art, I think, sir. Karate or Jiu-Jitsu, it is called. I had read about it somewhere. It temporarily paralyzes the nervous system, you see. So, to that to that question, Ishwaran would say, oh, that has to do something with the Japanese martial arts technique, something like karate or jujitsu kind of martial arts. So there he had read somewhere, or he had known that doing that kind of action on the third toenail, it temporarily creates a kind of paralysis to the body. So he just applied that technique over the elephant, and it worked. Nothing so special about that. So this is how Ishwaran completed. Ishwaran would narrate one story. This is another example of Ishwaran's story. So now Ishwaran will narrate one last story for this text. Like he had been telling many stories, but these are some of the exceptional stories that has entertained Mahendra, as well as it has entertained us also. So we will listen to the last story, which is a very interesting story, okay, and as well as funny. So that we will continue in our next class. So I hope that in the next class it will get finished, and if the time is there, I will also discuss some of the question answers here. Okay, for today, till this much. Bye.